let's quickly pull up something like an Olectra Green Tech as well. The stock is in focus, and so is the other EV bus makers over the last couple of weeks. And that's largely basis of a news flow coming in from state-owned CESL that they could actually have a new tender of 10,900 buses. To talk more about this and what could be that mean essentially for Olectra Green Tech, I'm now being joined by Mr. Mahesh Babu Subramanian. He's the Managing Director at Olectra Green Tech. Mr. Subramanian, very good afternoon to you. Thanks so much for joining in, sir. It's Puneet this side. Firstly, many congratulations on your new role. You've been in the industry for quite a while. So the new CESL tender, what does that mean for you? And also give us some perspective in terms of for Olectra as well. While I know it's not been that long, in terms of participation in this particular tender, would you be open to having maintenance of 12 years or more in terms of the buses in this particular order? Because that seems to be what CESL wants from participation in this tender. So give us some perspective on both these aspects.
Thank you for having me on the show. As Olectra, we have a very healthy order pipeline already. We have been running this 12 years contract through our associate company called EV Trans, which runs the Olectra buses already. We have about 3,000 plus electric buses on road. And we are number one last year in terms of bus registration. And so far, including Vahan and Telangana, we are number one in H1. So it's a very good opportunity that CESL has come back, and then through PME drive, the tender is under floating. We are very happy to evaluate that. Right now, we have a healthy order book between Maharashtra, BST, and other Himachal. We have about 10,000 order already in the pipeline. The new 11,000 tenders, which is between Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Ahmedabad and Surat and other cities, have really opened up a new opportunity for bus industry. I think EV bus industry. I think it's a good opportunity for Olectra. We are evaluating the tender. The due date is on 6th of November. Our team is working very closely to see what are all the implications, and we will decide in the coming week whether we will participate. Being a market leader, you can expect we actively participating in it.
Mr. Subramanian, you mentioned about your strong order book of over 10,000 buses. What is the current capacity that you have right now for which is operational as we speak?
So we have operationalized about 2,500 per annum capacity on a single shift. You can actually double it in by 2 shifts. So we will be able to serve the order for next couple of years. That's the plan. The issue is not about more manufacturing. I think when we talk about electric buses, the ecosystem development, power supply to the depot, readiness of the infrastructure in the depot and the routes are more important. Where the tender, even in CSL tender says that the deployment will happen over the next 2 years. So we are producing in line with the market requirements. That's why we are number one in bus registration last year, and even number one in H1 of this financial year.
So, Mr. Subramanian, you highlighted 2,500 per annum. That will be including both the shifts, right?
One shift. So we can do 5,000 in 2 shifts.
2,500 in 2 shifts, and you're going to that progress as we speak.
We have already achieved that capacity of 2,500 per shift. If needed, we are ready to add one more shift to make it to 5,000.
Okay, and just one follow-up on, the Maharashtra bus order, because, before you came in, there was a delay in execution of this 5,150 buses. Currently, as we know that there is a new timeline for execution of these 5,000 buses, could you give us some perspective of the execution of this over the next couple of years?
I think when the first tender came, it was a very ambitious timeline. Both state government as well as Olectra realized that the ecosystem cannot be developed so fast. So we engaged with government of Maharashtra, and they have also agreed that the timeline was very aggressive, and they have given us till FY 27. We have already supplied close to 600 plus buses there, and we are every month adding more numbers. As soon as the depot is ready, we will do the flag off. Even every week, we are doing almost one depot flag off there. So as soon as the depots and power supply and infrastructure is ready, we are ready to supply the buses.
So, Mr. Subramanian, you highlighted that 600 out of the 5,150 have already been deployed to the Maharashtrian government. The only challenge that the street seems to be having right now is execution even till FY27, because even if you have all of your capacity being used over the next 2 years, that will be looking at the bus order might be a little difficult to execute. Could you give us some clarity on some timelines, either by April of 2026 is what we anticipate you have to give a certain number of buses? How much would that be, and in terms of execution over the next 18 months, where do you see that execution happening as well?
We have agreed with Maharashtra government, depending upon the depot availability, that we will deploy it in next 12 to 18 months. That plan is in place, and ramping up production of buses is not an issue at all. As I said, from one shift, we can quickly go to 2 shifts, and that can increase the capacity to 5,000. So in 12 months, I can finish all Maharashtra order and so on. But the reality is the depots needs to be ready, because each of these buses close to 1 crore plus. So if 500 buses are kept waiting for the deployment in the depots, then we will lose about 500 crore. So that's the challenge. So that's what we will have to do in deploying these buses. So production is not a constraint. Readiness of depot is the most important thing which you need to close.
And Mr. Subramanian, in terms of sourcing your batteries also for the buses, currently, in the past, the managements have highlighted your partnership with BYD. If you can give us some update as to where are you currently sourcing your batteries for the buses now, as well as what's the progress in conversation with BYD as well.
So we have a tie-up with BYD, and BYD is the world's largest bus manufacturer, one of the world's largest bus manufacturers. We have been talking to them. In fact, if you look at previously, we said that we will set up a battery assembly line with the new blade battery technology, which BYD is supplying not only to us, but also even car OEMs in India. So we are working towards productionizing the battery manufacturing line in our facility with blade batteries. I think that will be a technological leapfrog jump in terms of technology, in terms of battery in bus segment is concerned. As you know that everybody, including others, import the cells as of now. Battery pack will be manufactured in India, and that's what we are also trying to get in the coming year.
That's going to be interesting, when it comes to batteries. Mahesh, good afternoon. This is Hiral on this side. It's great to speak to you now at Olectra after speaking to you at Switch Mobility. My question to you is the extensive experience that you've had with Mahindra Electric, with Switch Mobility. What is your long-term vision going to be for Olectra Green? Because the trajectory of the company, I'm sure, would have been different. After your appointment, I'm sure you would have something in mind as well. So how is that shift going to look like, number one? And what are you envisioning for Olectra Green from a longer-term perspective?
I think there are 3 parameters which are very critical I'm focusing on along with the team in Olectra. One is delivery in terms of commitment, realistic commitment and delivery as per commitment. So we have ramped up the capacity in last 1 month. We have been consistently delivering day on day, week on week, month on month, which is very important in the auto industry. And then to fulfill all our orders right now in the pipeline. The second initiative is I've been working both in all these 3 stints towards greatly bringing technology and contributing to Make in India. I think while we have a tie-up with BYD and we will leverage their technological in batteries and cells, we are looking at developing Make in India buses going forward, and hence we will participate in CESL tender as well. The third one is we are looking at EV multiple segments. We are looking at evaluating multiple segments apart from bus. We have already made some few trucks. We are evaluating the trucking segment. We are looking at other segments and also ecosystems. So a strategy is being worked out in Olectra, which segment we will be able to make value add in India and how that can transform the mobility in the country. That's what we are looking at, and we'll be ready by the last quarter of this financial year so that we can start working on those strategies from early next year.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting to watch out for. I mean, you've given us all your key milestones, and I think that's what all of us are going to keep calling you and grilling you on all these milestones as to how they are panning out from here on. But thank you, Mahesh, so much for joining us on the show. Always a pleasure to speak to you from Puneet, the team, and myself right here. Kush, how are you looking at Olectra Green if I come to you today? The stock is up nearly 2.2%. It's been a topsy-turvy ride for Olectra Green because the kind of surge that it saw in between cooled off afterwards. And I think probably that ride has started again. Would you say so?
So here are early days. So if you are a slightly aggressive investor, then this is not a bad idea for you to go out and accumulate Olectra Green Tech. There are signs of revival. However, what's happening is that big volumes and momentum is missing. So this would not be a quick trade. Anywhere from 6 to 12 month kind of a time horizon for targets of 1700 and about 1825, you could consider it, because as I said, there are revival signs and a good recovery from those 1000 odd levels. So with the stop loss around the 1375 mark, you could consider, but as I said, positional and in small quantities.
Well, a positional buy coming in if you take a trade, and there's a slight spike also coming from the day's lows as well. But of course, we will speak about this e-bus space as well.